Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's Ndeye speaking. Today we have a special guest called Sharise. She's an author, and I suppose you could see the book behind her. She's going to introduce herself in a few seconds and tell us about her story. We're going to have songs. We're going to have fun. We're going to enjoy the next upcoming hours. So stay tuned. If you are logged out for Wi-Fi reason, just log back in. And if you catch us on replay, just comment below. She's going to get back to you. I'll get back to you. And we keep this thing rolling. Welcome, Sharise. Tell us about you.
Hello, how are you doing, everyone?
Good.
My name is Sharise Johnson Moore, and I'm an author, a minister, a motivational speaker, and a gospel artist. And I'm from Uniontown, Pennsylvania, and my book, Coming to Loving Yourself, is my very first authorship, and I plan on writing more. I'm working on a few projects right now, matter of fact. So, just that's just me.
So what do you do, Sharise, for fun? What's your hobbies, or what's the thing you would like people to relate to you? What would you like to share?
Um, that I'm a people person. I like meeting new people. I like getting to know new people. I like to help other people. And my, I would say my other job would be as a home health aide, certified nurse's assistant. I
Mm-hmm.
do that for a living for the bills. So,
Mm-hmm.
but the thing is that um I love meeting new people. I love getting to know new people. And
That's why we are here
just
today.
that, you know, yes, it is, getting to know new people. Always open your door. Always have your door open so you may meet someone else that may you might have something in common with, or you might not have anything in common with them. But it's always, God always gives us the opportunity to um be ourselves among ourselves, I would say.
Oh. And could you tell us quickly about the book, or you could take your time. You don't have to do it quickly, but could you tell us what's the story behind the title?
Okay, Coming to Loving Yourself is a book about my life. And the thing is I wrote it not to I wrote it to free myself, to free myself, because I've been through so many things in life. For those of you that have the book,
Mm-hmm.
you've read that I've experienced some things in my life that were not pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
And it used to hold me back, and it used to, make me judge myself. And I used to stay and stand in fear. And I used to, just, how could I say it? Always be judgmental of myself because I was judged as a child growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And the in the book, it I state how life life can bring you all these things, all these traumatic things, all these good things, all these things, these emotions in your life during different segments, and um far as, you don't have to you know stay stuck in your abuse. You don't have to stay stuck in your mindset of no one loves you. You do not have to stay stuck in your mind with I could say all the things God gives us is for a
Mm-hmm.
purpose.
Yeah.
And and when I lost my grandmother in 2011,
Mm-hmm.
like 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, um, that kind of set me on a course of a self-evaluation of myself. And then I lost my father like in 2014, 2 weeks before my birthday. And then I lost
Mm-hmm.
my mother 6 months later. And that was New Year's. That was around New Year's, right after New Year's came in for 2015. And each death changed me as a person, how I viewed my life, what I wanted out of my life, what did I want to do with the rest of my life I have, and to re-examine all the other things to re-examine the other things that has happened in my life, to give it a different perspective, to give it a different meaning. And after those three deaths, I really got involved with saying, look, I am who I am, but I don't have to stay. I don't have to. I've been through a lot, but I don't have to stay where I used to be. I don't have to stay stuck. And the book was written because I just want to let go of all that stuff I was holding on to. It was a book. The book brought me freedom. It brought me evaluation, a new way of looking at my life, and what did I want to do with my life, and what kind of legacy am I leaving for my children? That was another question that was I
Okay.
thought about when I wrote this book. So
I'm sorry about your loss, and
and,
this is some flowers to cheer you up.
oh, okay. So my thing is that during the course of me changing slowly in my life for wanting more, I decided to go to theology school and
Mm,
pursue a theology degree. I decided to not sit in fear of being judged by other people.
mm.
They read the book like, oh Lord, she did this, and oh Lord, she did that, and it was like I decided to write the book for the purpose of trying to help somebody else, free somebody else. That's what I'm gonna say. Free
That's
somebody else.
awesome
Free
because it's not
somebody.
everybody who had enough courage to share their stories, even if they know it's going to be something that people would use against them and be judgmental.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And sometimes we have to put ourselves out there. We put ourselves out there to show people that I can help you, that I could be there for you, I could support you, I'm here for you, I'm doing all these things, and um I'm not afraid to be me. I'm not afraid of what I've been through. I'm not afraid to sit and share my story, as a former drug addict, as a former prostitute, as a former um, just person that was just out there just doing whatever willy nilly, and wasn't I didn't have any direction. I didn't have any direction, and I decided, after after those three deaths, you had them three
Mm,
deaths right behind each other like that. And it's like, Lord, what you trying to tell me, and it's
mm.
like, wow. And it becomes something of a, how could I say this? It becomes an eye opener for you. It really becomes an eye opener when you
But
lose family like
how
that.
did you manage when you were like the first test, the second, and the third? How did you manage to keep going?
I
Because some people
relied
would just
on
give up and say, "This is the end of the Lord. The Lord left me. I can't get any way out."
I think the Lord held me up with that one. The Lord held me up with that one really, really, really good. Especially with that first death. That's my grandmother. My grandmother raised me. If you
Mhm,
have, like I said, the readers that have read the book know that my grandparents were very pivotal in my life.
mhm,
And they raised me from a baby. So her passing away, she was my mom. She was my mom. She was my mom growing up, my grandmother. And when she passed, it kind of, I think the Lord, I ain't gonna say I know the Lord was with me on that one, because I tell you what, I give you this example. I give you this little story here.
okay.
Okay. So my grandmother had, I was I was at my home in Hampton, Virginia, and my son had called me and said, "Do you know Grandma in the hospital?" Okay. I said no, and he says, "Well, you need to come to the hospital right away." And so I dropped everything I was doing and I went over to the hospital. And when I arrived, everybody was there. Everybody was there. I didn't even know she'd been in there 2 days because my father, he didn't call me to tell me she was there. And I wasn't mad or nothing. I just wanted her to get to see her. So, and the doctors came in and talked and everything, and they put her on hospice, which that is care at home for she was, hospice is a term where they use where she will be at home, but she's slowly dying. She okay. So in that 2 weeks, they placed her on hospice. She came home and I, stayed with her and I prayed with her and I sang to her and I read to her and and I was so afraid to leave the house, and I was just scared because I don't want to leave the house and then she go pass away on me, and I had to come back find her passed away. So my thing was, I said, well, so one day I was singing in this gospel group at the time called the Victory Gospel Singers of Hampton, Virginia, and we had a program. Okay, so I decided, I said, Grandma, I'm gonna go to this program. I'm not gonna be long. I'll be right back. So I went to the program. My dad dropped me off, and the program kind of took its time taking off. It's on color people time anyway. So they took time to start the program. So we sang, and then something came over me while I was singing. Something like a spirit had left my soul, and I couldn't hold back the tears while singing the song. So we sang, we finished, and then I said, all right, Daddy, I'm ready for you. Come get me. So my dad come get me, and we go back to the house. I walk back in the house because we had placed her in the front room, in the front room of the house, so I could, people could have access to her to come visit. So I come in, and then I come in and I slowly come on. I say, hey, Grandma, how you doing? I'm back. Hey, what's up? What you doing? So I'm sitting there looking at her, right? And something just wasn't feeling right. Wasn't feeling right to me. So I walked up to the bed, and my son, my youngest boy, Patrick, he was in the room. So he eases out the room and eases into the kitchen. But me, I'm still standing by the bed, and I asked my dad's wife at the time. I said, "Okay, so she not breathing. So what's going on with that?" So I said, "Well, she's not breathing, And I'm like, "Come on, she's not breathing, She said, "I wish I was sitting here with her the whole time you was gone, and everything like that." And I was like, "Okay." So in that moment, we realized that she had passed away. So I said, well, at least I was in the right place at the right time, serving the Lord where He wanted me to be when she passed away. So that's how life is. God will always place you in the right place where you need to be when something when things are according to His plan. His plan always goes, He has a plan for you. So it was for me to be at that gospel program to sing, and she passed, and I get there to the house, and she's passed away. And I could feel her leaving out my spirit when I was singing the song. So I knew that what was happening, but I was like, well, that's God's will, that's His will. So.
Let's see. Do you want to share one gospel with us? Just, one gospel, one song?
Okay. As I look back over my life and see where I've been, Jesus, I praise you that I'm not stuck in sin, but way down in my spirit. One praise is not enough. So I lift my hands and give you praise for everything you've done. Hallelujah. 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 My God. God reigns.
It's beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So now I have a question about the title. How do you want people to come up with the title? Like, is it something that you are teaching step by step how to face the situation? Or is there a better way to read it through? Sometimes when you read the title, it's more like, just to finish to explain more, it looks like a self-help book. So it's a good idea to explain how to use it and how to come up to loving yourself.
Well, I think of my book as a self-help book. Mm-hmm. And I say that because there's so many things people experience in their life as trauma, child abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse. There's so many aspects in this book. Mm-hmm. And self-esteem and where it's you grow up and people are judgmental of you. It's a thing, and I want to let everyone know that they don't have to. God made you special. God made them special in every kind of way. No one is the same. No one is made the same. No one thinks the same. Nobody gets gifts and talents are not the same. Their gifts and their talents. Everybody's gift and talent is different. And I wanted to help someone, and that may be going through a lot in their life, and let them know that God is there for them. It's been times where I've asked myself, why this, why that, why this, why that, God, why this? And He's led me on a path to say this book is to help somebody else. It's you letting go of your fears and the things that you've been through, but you want to help somebody else that is, maybe, or have been through the things that you have experienced in your life, and helping others.
How do you use it? Like, is it something you have to read from chapter 1 to the end, or is it something where you could just go to let's say I'm starting over again? Should I go directly to the chapter that concerns the starting over, or is it better to read the entire book until I reach the level where I am?
Okay, it's best to read the entire book. Mm-hmm. It's best to read the entire book from beginning to end, because it is very understandable that you go through different phases in your life, and that phase might happen, that between 1 and 10 years old, or the phase might happen between 10 and 20, or 20 or 30, but the thing is, I suggest a person, when they get this book, that they read it from beginning to end. Okay. And a book like this, you don't want to skip a chapter. You don't want to skip. You don't want to skip a chapter. You don't want to say, okay, well, I'll start here, start there. And, sometimes we have to, it's good to read a book in its entirety. so we don't miss all the important stuff. The little things matter sometimes, the little sentences, the little statements. And if you skip through the book, you might miss some things.
True. And could you briefly give us, because it's your autobiography, a little bit, not the whole, don't give away the whole book, but just some tidbits of your different parts of your life that you are sharing in the book without giving it all? Because I know you have
Okay.
like the beginning of my life till death can change your mind. So could you give us kind of like a little summary?
Okay. Coming to Loving Yourself is a book of self discovery. It is a book of self love, finding self love, uh, changing your people, places, and things kind of love. Um, just it gives you a self. It gives you. It makes you look at yourself and evaluate what you've done in your life and you sit there and evaluate, and it's like, okay, maybe I could change this about myself, or maybe I could change that, or and it reveals that God is always present. God is always present from beginning to end in this book. And you look at all the many blessings that God has blessed me with, where I used to think that I was not, I used to think that I was not worthy to love. I was not worthy to have someone in my life that loved me, to take care of me, but God blessed me with a grandmother that cared enough when my parents didn't care enough. God placed her in my life for 40 years, and she's taught me so many things. And but the main purpose of the main thing in this book is stay strong. Look at the strength of the character of the person that's in this book, where some things could have drove her crazy, or some things could have drove her insane. Some things could have messed her up psychologically, per se. But look at the strength that this character has in this book. Look how strong she is. No matter what she's going through, she still rises. She still comes to the top. She still makes herself like ain't nothing going to keep me down. And I think I've gotten that spirit from my grandmother, because I've seen her as a strong Black woman, and she used to own her own. She wasn't even 30 years old before she owned her own home, and on in Long Island, New York, and she was always persistent and resilient, even though she came from the country, and that's where I get that from, where she never wanted for anything, she never asked people for anything, she worked hard, and whenever she felt like she had to keep pushing, that's how I live my life. That's how I'm living my life. Living my life to the fullest. And there's no thing is no. There's no thing is I can't. Can't is not in my vocabulary, because my grandmother used to tell me that. She says can't is not a word. You must keep going, because you standing on somebody else's shoulders that got you to where you are. You must keep standing strong and diligent, and keep moving forward, because life might get you down, life might throw you some rocks and some curves and some bumps in the road, but don't let them stop you. So that's what this book is about, is persevering, pushing, keeping moving forward.
Awesome. And since your book is coming to loving yourself,
Hmm.
what do you think about what happened with George?
With who?
George, the man who can't breathe.
Oh, George Floyd.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, you're talking about oh, that was a tragedy.
Mm.
We talk about the man, the police been killed, right?
Yes.
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 Okay. Yes. I think that's a tragedy. And I think that it needs to be addressed in a nice how could I say this? I think officers that go and use excessive force should be, don't wait till they got all this pay, all these citations against them. Don't wait till they have all this built up stuff. They done this to this person. They done that. They were cited for doing this. Don't I think that what Atlanta mayor has done, the Atlanta mayor, I think she's made an example. I think everybody needs to follow her lead when it comes to police using excessive force. And when you use excessive force, you automatically get fired. Don't wait till they got a whole rap sheet and they done killed all these, they done maybe killed somebody else, or they done assaulted somebody else because they got this badge on and I'm the sheriff. And, and I think, I think all police officers are accountable for their actions, just like we accountable for our actions, even though we don't wear no suit. We don't protect the public. But
True.
now society has it where you must be accountable for your actions. You are accountable, and we're going to hold you responsible for everything that you do, whether you're a politician, whether you are, a policeman, a deputy, a sheriff, a council person, mayor, and I think that what should be done where that family should be compensated, that man should be compensated for his death. Now he can't raise his daughter. Now he can't be with the mother. They can't be a family. And a man is very essential to family. Man is the rock. Man is the way maker. Man is the provider for the family, and it is very important. That we as a society start helping our men
Hmm.
our men raise their kids. Don't use your kids as pawns. Don't use your kids as pawns in a game, or where you can't see her because you ain't give me no money. And because I'm gonna tell you, I, I experienced this myself growing up. Me, I had my grandmother's son is my father, and he was not there for me growing up. I might see
Hmm.
him, I might have seen him, but we never held a conversation. He never took me to a school dance. He never sat down, talked to me about boys. He never he wasn't there. He was always with his friends, going to get drunk, going to, and father figures are very important in girls and boys' lives growing up, because
True.
they're the first people that you see or what you get when, this is how, is from a woman's perspective. Oh, this is where a girl learns how a man is supposed to treat a woman. So she will not learn that lesson when she grows up, the little girl, Mr. Floyd's daughter. um
Mm.
she would not get her first dance. She would not get her um um
Father daughter
how
time.
fathers. Yeah. And I think, you know that's sad. It's sad. And everybody, I don't care what kind of title you got, you still have to be an accountable and respectable person to each other. I think that was disrespectful. I think it was done out of malice. The man said he couldn't breathe. Okay, you're gonna have my knee on your knee on my neck, and you're suffocating me. And it's sad, but we need to have a better
Mm.
conversation. The police department needs to have a better conversation with a person before they jump on them and use all this force on them and put them to the ground. And the man, I mean, when I seen the video, I was like,
It's
really,
shocking.
like all this over. Oh yeah, all this over a counterfeit money. He could have sat there and he could have said, okay, let's go down. The policeman could have said, now let's go down to
Hmm.
the police station and we'll talk about this. How did you end up with this money? They could have handled that totally different.
And my question is more
Totally
like
different.
for a young man or any Black family watching that video, how could you be coming to loving yourself after that violence?
Right now, me and my son are talking about this kind of thing. We're talking about this issue.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, me and my son are at ends. We're kind of at ends, and I try to talk to him about it. And he's so upset, and he's so mad, and he's so frustrated, and and it makes him cry. It makes him tear up. It makes him and I would say to these young men, like I start a buddy
Mm-hmm.
system. I start a buddy system. If I'm gonna go out, I'm not gonna go by myself. I'm gonna go with my friend, go with my female friend, or go with my buddy, my homeboy, somebody. I wouldn't go traveling by myself. I would go everywhere with somebody, take somebody with me, so I can have a witness if something ever happens. God forbid. Um, I would just do some things to change it up. Just change it up. Do a lot. I mean, I know we don't want to live in a constant fear factor of, oh, the police might pull me over, or the police might just stop me because I'm walking down the street, or and sometimes, sometimes loving yourself means protecting yourself too. Loving yourself means protecting yourself all the time. It's like, okay, say like I'm going down the street and I'm okay, and then the police won't pull. Okay, well, I'm on the phone. Hello, you're on the phone with somebody and say, well, the police just pulled me over. Okay, so that gives you. I know that's not the way we want to live in our society, but I don't know where all this fear coming from. This is just this stuff is fear. This is fear. It's fear. We've had it for a long time. We had this way before now. We done had this way back in the 1800s when us as black folks had to deal with the KKK coming our house, pulling our house,
Mm-hmm.
burning our houses down, because we stood up for ourselves. And all this is, and like Steve Harvey said, they have infiltrated us, and we have to keep our
Mm-hmm.
eyes open, and we have to guard ourselves accordingly. Coming to loving yourself, I think, we it needs to be more communication in the community, more communication between the police force and the
Mm-hmm.
people that live there. Okay, I live in Uniontown. Okay, well, we have a town hall meeting. I think I would think of doing that, a town hall meeting, and we get the police force to deal, and we talk out our differences. We talk it out. We talk it out. We talk, because sometimes dialogue brings you a form of communication that will get more understanding between two people having a conversation, besides, oh, fighting and backbiting and all, and and just it's called
Okay.
communication. We all have to communicate with each other. So that's what I think that is. Communicate, sit down, and
So we
have a
have to
dialogue.
protect ourselves and just try to communicate better.
Yeah, communicate better. Communicate. Say, okay, officer, what did I do wrong? Or, sometimes people rush to judgment. And rushing to judgment makes as they say, it makes a ass out of you and me. Sometimes we have to turn around and assume, and if you assume, you don't have to. You how can I say it? Stop. We need to stop assuming about what this person is. Stop assuming. It's like I'm going to assume that you are a you walking down the street, you black, and okay, well, you must committed a crime. That person could be just getting off work. That person could be just coming from their their house, or or coming from, like I said, come from work, walking from school, whatever. But don't assume that this person is automatically a criminal. They might got some PhDs and PhDs and things hanging on their wall, and don't assume everybody is bad when you see them.
Cool.
So that's how I feel about that one. Loving yourself means that be more proactive in your community, get to know your neighbors, get to know, I got a policeman live across the street from me. I don't know him from a can of paint, but me and him talk. Me and him, I don't know him from a can of paint, but we have conversation, we have dialogue when we do see each other. I don't look at him as a police officer, and I don't think he looks at me as a criminal. So, as long as you
The conversation going.
keep talking and keep
Okay.
conversation going, I think things will be better.
And how long did it take you to write your book?
Oh, it took me 3 years to write this book. Well, really two, but I kept messing around,
What do you
messing
mean by
around.
messing around?
Like I start, okay, like I did the first three chapters, okay, and then I gave someone, I had a friend of mine, her name is Stephanie, and Stephanie, she proofread and edited. She was
Okay.
proofreading and editing my book. So I did the first three chapters. She told me what I need to do, and then I kind of got I ain't gonna say I got lazy. I got lazy with it, and I messed with it for a little while, then leave it alone. Mess with it for a little while, then leave it alone, And then I realized something. When I had originally put it on Amazon, I had given myself a date to have this book done. And the date had passed for the day, like they give you like 90 days to automatically release the book and everything like that on Amazon. So I realized I had messed up. So I was like, oh my God, I got to change this date for Amazon release because the book it wasn't nowhere near. So I was like, let me go ahead and get busy and start messing around with this. So I went on ahead and just finished the book. I proofread, I edited. I mean, me and my friend, we did it together, worked on the book. And I'll say it took me about 2.5 years to write that
And
book.
what's the best feedback you receive from people reading it?
Thank you. Thank you for having the courage to say what I couldn't say. Thank you for telling your story. Excuse me. Telling your story and telling your story, telling the truth, telling it like it is, where you seem to put your all and all out there. And and I didn't hold any bars back on this book. I told the truth. And some people, we need to, that's what I think, that us as women, we need to acknowledge what happened in our lives, and and tell the truth. Be honest with yourself. And everybody said, "Oh, I loved it, and I loved it," and it's like, "When you gonna write another book?" I'm like, I'm
That's
working on that. I'm
awesome.
working on that.
And did you have anybody saying something like it
Yes.
changed their lives or something like that? Somebody who was so inspired that they make a change and make a move?
I've had a lot of young people. I've gotten to the point where I like to get the encouragement from young people. And somebody has read some, and they were like, "Well, I'm a writer." I've also gotten that. And that I've also gotten, "Hey, so how did you deal with this?" Because I've helped young ladies have read my book, and they come back to ask me, "Well, I'm dealing with this in my life, and I would like your help. How do I go about this situation, or how I go about that situation?" And it is it has inspired a lot of my younger my younger generation. Every time I see a young person, and I know I get that discernment. God gives me that discernment that they need help. I give them the book to read, and they come back and say, "Oh my God, that book was so good. Oh, I just I want to talk to you about such and such and such and such." And I get that a lot, So that's a plus from the book too, as well.
That's awesome. And what is your inspiration, and what do you want to inspire to others?
Don't sit on your book. Don't sit there. Just write. To all authors, I want to say this to all authors. I wrote this in a tweet on Twitter one day. I said to all authors, if you write your book, don't push it to the side. Don't throw it in the pile with the rest of the other ones you wrote. Don't just don't sit on it. Don't wait on it. Publish it. Publish your book because your words matter. Your words matter to the point where you don't know who you're going to inspire. You don't know who you're going to change their life. You don't know how they might, you don't know how it's going to affect them once you publish your book, you know. So that's what I had to say to all authors. Publish your book. I even put it out there. Say, if you want me to read it, proofread it, edit, I do that too, because we can't. I got a thing of once I became a published author, I believe it's all the rights of those that are published to help the next one to publish their book.
That's a nice one. But who inspired you?
I think
Who inspired you to write your book?
Bishop T.D. Jakes, Bishop Jakes, Bishop T.D. Jakes, because I'm an e-member there. I'm an e-member of his church, and it was just that segment in my life where he kept, and it was, like you ever watch one of his sermons, and you watch the sermon, and it's like he's talking directly to you, like it's like he's talking to your spirit and to your soul, and and he was so, how could I say this? It's a difference when you watch a pastor and they motivate you to do something positive with your life. It's it's very, very, very important that when you're in ministry, that you teach, and you reach, and you lift them up. You lift up their souls. And that was my inspiration. Bishop T.D. Jakes inspired me to write this book. And when I first got it published and it first came out, that's the first person I sent. The first book I sent out was to Bishop.
Awesome. And what do you think now about Christmas 2020 with everything happening?
What you mean, Christmas?
Yes. How Christmas 2020
You
gonna
asked me
happen?
about Christmas.
What's your opinion about that?
I'm just happy just to see the day. I'm gonna tell you something. Look, I had learned in these past couple of days with all this stuff going on. I'm just happy for the day, child. I'm just happy for the day. I'm just happy to see the day. Each day, each day, I know that my life can change in an instant. From this coronavirus stuff to whatever else is going on. I just take it day by day, and I thank the Lord for each day. And I feel good when I wake up in the morning. I'm thankful because, see, there's a whole lot of people that they don't get up to wake up in the morning. They don't see the day. Their mamas gotta go. Their moms gotta go identify their children in the morgue, or their children gotta go identify their mamas or their daddies in the morgue. And I look at that. That's what has dawned on me in this time. In this time is so precious. And this time is uh, uh, so poignant to spend with our families. Call somebody, say, "Hey, how you doing? What's up?" Something. You know, um, just hearing
Mhm.
their voice, hearing the voice in the morning. I love it when I hear my son talk in the morning. I say good morning. He says he want to give me that attitude. So what's so good about it? And I explained to him. I said, I'm thankful that God has
Oh,
allowed us one more day because we all could be dead in our
oh.
graves. We could be
Mhm.
6 feet under, or we could have died in our sleep, or we could have got shot while we laying in the bed, or the house could have caught on fire. I give him so many scenarios that things can happen in the course of a night when you sleep and you getting that good sleep. And I just thank the Lord. I thank God every day for my life. And that was another thing um that really helped me. That really helped me in my life after I lost my three
Mhm.
loved ones, my three P's. That's what I used to call them, my three P's. And it made me appreciate life more. It made me change my whole perspective about life. Appreciate it more. Say hi to your loved ones. If you ain't called them, talk to them. Call them and talk to them. Cause we do not know the day nor the hour the Lord may take us away
Oh,
from here.
that's well said. And where to find your book? Is there a website or which platform to find you?
Okay, I have my book. The book is available on my website at
Mhm.
www.sharicenjohnsonmoore.com. You can purchase the actual paperback book is $12.50. I brought the price down because of this,
Mhm.
the economy. I brought the price down a little bit more from 15 to 12.50. And I also have it
Mhm.
for the ebook, which is $2.99 on Amazon. I'm selling that book for 99 cents because
Okay.
of the economy. You can find it on
Mhm.
Amazon.com,
Mhm.
Goodreads, Barnes&nobles. Those are the places that you may find, and you might find it. I think I put it on
Mhm.
Google Books. I think I posted it up there too. So, and that's
And where
where
to find
that's
you? Like if
that's
somebody
where
after watching
that's
this
where it's at.
show wants to be in touch with you, where to find you?
Okay,
Mhm.
I'm on Facebook at Sharise Johnson Moore 2. That's my
Mhm.
business page. You can find me on Instagram under
Mhm.
Sharise Johnson Moore. You can find me on Twitter as Sharise
Mhm.
J Moore. You can find me on LinkedIn as Sharise Johnson Moore. Everything is the same for all my social media
Okay.
pages. So um come. I have a blog as well. It's called Today's Life that you can find that on my website. I have a blog
Mhm.
called Today's Life where all topics I talk about everything on my blog. So and that's where you
Awesome.
can find me.
So I'm going to mention also that Shari is going to post below this video all her links. So you could find her easily, her book on Amazon. She's really interesting. I love the singing. I love the story itself. I won't tell you too much. You have to go get your copy. Feel free to contact her directly. So all the links, you could comment also below. If you catch us on replay, don't worry. We're going to keep coming and look again who is posting and who is commenting. And she's going to post again all the links. You're going to be able to find it. And Sharice, I would love to have maybe one or two gospel to close
Yeah.
this. It was really interesting. I learned a lot and I enjoyed this time. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much.
So,
Thank
and
you.
whenever you want to sing, you could start. And the final word is yours.
Oh, okay. All right. Why should I feel discouraged? And why should the shadows come? And why should my heart feel lonely and long for heaven, heaven and home? When Jesus is my portion, a constant rain, oh, is He. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. I sing because my soul is happy. I sing because I'm free. For His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches over me.
Thank you. All yours. Bravo.
All right. All right.
Bye.
Au revoir.